Alright, so this is just a really short rant about Ruby and the state that it's in right now. And I'm just gonna say, for as much love as I have for Ruby, I also have a lot of dislikes. And it's it's bad, man. It's just bad now. I felt nothing for season 6. And it's a thing where I I love the series. I still love, the Ruby series. I still watch it. I've put too much time into Ruby to, ignore it now. Like a couple years back, I made a fan fiction, which was really fucking bad, but I still put time into it. I still love the series, but it's just even I know when it's bad now. But yeah, I mean, so just to point out some things I do like about Ruby, it's just general kind of weapon designs, how the functionality of the weapons, um, some some of the characters, namely character wise, I do prefer Mercury and Oscar, and that's just because of the what they kind of did with season 6 about them. They revealed more about Mercury, and I want to know more about him. Oscar doesn't have enough character development, and I would love that if they give him more character development. But a lot of the side characters that popped up in the older seasons, like the other teams, like Team Auburn or Caffeine or Coco, whatever. They could have done more with those. Like, let's be honest here. But dislike wise, the series has just gotten really bad. I felt nothing, like almost nothing for Volume 6, and there were so many things about the recent and old seasons that kind of pissed me off. Where it's like the older seasons, like 1 and 2 by far are my favorite seasons, and the reason why is because granted they didn't have much story to them, there was still enough to kind of make this whole fan base that wants to build on their own world, and I like that. But there's it's to a point where it's like, oh, it's kind of bad as well. So I have a love and hate relationship for 1 and 2, and the reason why I liked it so much is because when Monty was working on it, when all this stuff was going on, there's a noticeable charm to season 1 and 2 than there is to 3 and onward. Like, I was rewatching 1 and 2, and granted, the writing is pretty bad, but it's meant to be more comedic and kind of it's meant to more to be a comedic action, like a lot of anime is. And when you suddenly take a serious turn to a series, if you don't do it right, it's gonna turn out really bad. And it's just a it's just a noticeable it's just a noticeable charm. Like the charm of season 1 and 2 is it's great. Like you ignore how bad the writing is, honestly, and it's just because it has charm to it. And that's kind of like with a lot of anime. I I don't like a lot of anime now. Like, you know, I've if the writing went some way to the point where it's it's very bad, I'm probably not gonna watch that anime. But yeah, and in the most recent season, I didn't feel charm. I didn't feel any charm for it. But yeah, its writing has just gotten way shittier. And it's as not to say that its writing is good anyways. But I did like some stuff about season 6 where it's like, oh, the grim and stuff. But let's be real here. Season 6 is probably the worst season. And what I almost forgot. I was getting sidetracked a little bit, but what I wanted to talk about when I was saying oh, uh, there was some stuff in like seasons that didn't make sense to me. When was the last time Weiss used that like time distortion ability with her dust? Do you know how many fucking times their asses could have been saved by using time distortion? And what I mean by time distortion, if you look back at Volume 2, they're fighting Torchwick in the mech suit. If you look back at that, fucking Weiss throws some weird magic or dust particle that hits the spot. And when Blake stands up on it, it makes this really cool noise. It shows a clock fast forwarding or something like that. And it gives Blake all these new abilities where she can make fucking laser beam blades by swiping. And she's a lot faster. And they did this again for season for toward the end of season 2. And it just makes me think, when was the last time she used that? She didn't use that ever again. There are so many things that they didn't use again that could have helped them so much. And I don't want to name off all of them. And that's mainly because I don't remember all of them. But it's like, you can't just show a cool ability and not do it again. It's fucking stupid. Volume 5 made it look like Weiss couldn't fight for shit. Like, it made no sense to me. Oh, I'm fighting Vernal. I'm just gonna fight like I don't know how to fight. Like, why? Why? What was the point? You could have done so much better. And then, granted, that last fight in Volume 5 was kind of cool. It was, I don't know, something about it wasn't all that impressive. Like, it was visually pleasing. But the more I looked at it, the more I started rewatching the fight, I was like, oh, it's not all that impressive. And I'm not an animator, like I said, but it's just a personal opinion. And I didn't think it was all that impressive, I'll be honest. Let's see, volume, yeah, and it's there's also another thing where it's like, Volume 6, Ruby was talking about how she's never needed help from adults, but in most of her achievements, she has needed some assistance from adults. Kind of fighting yourself there, Ruby. And it's just Volume 6 had just a lot of dumb things. Like what's another one? The mech fight. The mech fight was horrible. Oh my god. How convenient is that their fucking blades cut through it like butter? How convenient is it that its core, its fucking engine was in like the back of its fucking shell, but not inside the mech itself? Like it's pretty fucking dumb. And another thing was, the world building for RWBY is fucking horrible, dude. I know they're trying to build more on it, but it's fucking horrible. Let's be real here. Oh, faunus discrimination. Isn't the faunus discrimination wasn't even noticeable if you really think about it. Like, if you really start thinking about it, it's like, holy shit. They did nothing for it. What was the point of this? Like, what was it called? Aside from Cardin, or Arden, whatever, I forgot his fucking name too. Aside from that character in particular, what can you really say as discrimination in this fucking series? There was like, I think it was in Volume 4, Volume 5, There was literally one sign that said no fondness allowed, and that was the only goddamn thing I noticed about it. That's the only fondness discrimination I noticed. And it was just fucking retarded. And it's, yeah, oh my god. And yeah, just general world building in general, like, general world building in general. I'm smart. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. But, if you really look back on it, it's like, first and second season, they gave you enough to build on, but they also didn't give you enough to build on. Where it's like they give you little tidbits and little things where it's like, hey, um, this is the world of RWBY, and that in itself sparked imagination in so many people to make fan fictions and to write about, like, give theories what's going on. And when they tried to world build, the way they did it wasn't all that impressive, because when you look at it, it's like, how much of the world do you still know about RWBY? Let's be honest here. Like, aside, like, Blake goes to her home, and I forgot what the fuck the place was called, but it's the faunus place, and yeah, it's a small, it's an island, but that's all you really know about it. It's a place where faunus live. That's still all you really know about it. Then you go over to, like, a new city, town, or, like, country thing, Vale, Beacon, all that. How much do you know about those places? How much can you honestly say you know about those places? Like, there's just not a lot. And character wise, the characters are not good. Ugh. I'm not a professional writer either, letting you know, but I do write my own stories, and I've fixed my own stuff because it's been years. But it's it's not good. Like what can you tell me is good about RWBY's character? What can you honestly tell me is good about RWBY's character? What can you honestly tell me is good about any of the characters? Like Adam, I was excited because I thought he was going to be a really cool character. Nope. Nope. He's a fucking crazy yandere person. And they killed him off because of plot, and they wanted to make the ship. Another thing about this fucking series is that they focus too much on the ships. It's stupid. Like, why? Why? I didn't come here to look at ships. Like, I came here to enjoy the show for what it is. I came here to see the fight scenes. I came here to kind of world build. But no. We're going to focus on ships. And don't tell me that they don't. They ship tease you a lot. And legitimately, the only ship that I saw had character development, that I saw had a story behind it, was Black Sun. Fucking prove me wrong. Try to prove me wrong. That is literally the only ship that had way more backstory to it. That has more story to it in general. If you were to take the whole of RWBY, like take it all away, right, and just focus on Blake and Yang as a Black Sun ship, you honestly probably could have gotten a better story. I'm not even joking. If you really think about it. Because, like there's a lot of, like, manga and anime that will kind of throw you into a world that you're not familiar with, that focuses on, like, one character or two characters, and you could still get a really good story out of it. This is what I'm talking about. And as, like, ship tease wise, they really want to force Bumblebee onto you. Like, they really wanted to force Bumblebee onto you. Like, how much story is behind that, alright? And another thing, like a thing that bothers me about Bumblebee in general is it's just a bad relationship. Like what actually even happened between the two? Oh, Blake got stabbed in the stomach by Adam. Okay, Yang lost her arm. Mm-hmm. What's what else you got there? They went through a trauma. That's about it. Oh, they danced at the dance, but what developed there? What even developed? Like honestly, tell me what developed between the two. Like how much development did Black Sun have compared to Bumblebee? 90% of it. Probably 98% of it. I think Bumblebee only has 2% of development. And and it's a weird thing too where it's just like, there's no point to these ships because it just makes the story bad. Like it really does. Like the Pure Jean thing, it was cute for a while, but like they still stuck with it from like just toward volume 6 just because of the statue thing. And you know, I don't know if you guys saw my episode video about that, but my my review on that one was fucking bad. It just wasn't good how they executed it. But yeah, it's just there's so much shit in RWBY now that is just horrible. Like it makes no goddamn sense. And this is the end of my rants for now, just because I feel like if I were to actually talk about or rant about RWBY more, it'd be like an hour long video or even longer, just because I have so much shit to say about it. But if you guys want to know more on my thoughts, just let me know. And yeah, comment what you guys think. See ya.